5-10-05. As everyone at Fox and Friends knows, Brian Kilmeade is a monster. So it takes a lot to make him look good, which is what Hank Williams Jr. did on Monday morning when he made comments employing the words Obama and Hitler. Here it is.
You remember the golf game they had, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Remember the golf game? That was one of the biggest political mistakes ever.
You mean when John Boehner played golf with President Obama?
Oh, yeah. Come on, come on. It'd be like Hitler playing golf with Netanyahu, okay?
Yeah, exactly. Now, Hank sings the Monday Night Football intro, but since the F&F appearance, ESPN pulled Williams from last night's game. ESPN spokesman Josh Krulowitz said, quote, "We are extremely disappointed with his comments," end quote. Now Williams has responded saying that seeing Obama and Boehner together was like seeing Hitler and Netanyahu together because, quote, "they're polar opposites and it made no sense." He also said every time the media brings up the Tea Party, it's painted as racist and extremist, but there's never a backlash. Which really is a fair point, but it's still stupid. Here's why. Hitler was always the left-wing go-to comparison for George Bush, and before that, Ronald Reagan. Fact is, pinko scum made a career out of lazily comparing conservatives to jackbooted thugs and their fascist leaders. So much so, I lampooned this crud on Red Eye. My point, you should mock and never adopt your adversary's flaws. The moment you act like them, you become them. I don't think Williams was really comparing Obama to Hitler, but parroting the chuckleheads at the Huffington Post makes him no better. Choose humor over Hitler, or just stick to music. Still not used to that. Bob, should ESPN have pulled the song last night?
Absolutely. I tell you, I have to feel a little bit for this. I can tell you that Hank came out. I don't know which bar was still serving at that hour of the morning that Fox and Friends was on. And the sunglasses, I did that many times. I know exactly why Hank wears all those sunglasses. Look, the guy's got a serious problem. We know he's had a long-term history with addiction. I wish him well. I tell you, they should get him off. That's a problem when he's on that, gets that kind of pressure on him to be on television. Hank was a talent. The guy's an alcoholic and an addict. He needs to get help.
Okay, so what's the excuse for the liberals?
I've never had an excuse for being an alcoholic and addict. I always said that.
Drug addict booze bags, too? Everyone who compared George Bush to being racist and everyone who compares his Tea Party to being
racist? Now, how in the hell did you get that? Did you get an email on that? I mean, what are you talking about?
I'm just asking.
It's a good point.
You keep bringing this up. I don't know who the liberals are you talk about that keep saying this. There's a few fringe people out there. 2000, you've got some wackos that are unbelievable.
Oh, no. As one of the original bloggers on the Huffington Post, there was more attacks on George Bush calling him to Hitler than anywhere on the planet. It was constant.
I never compared him to Hitler, and I'm the liberal here, so shut up.
And under your reasoning, this is what happens when you do a lot of drugs and you're drunk.
I'm telling you that this is this guy has a problem, and he clearly should not be doing this. And I think we should move off his problem. I'll be happy to call him and take him to Hazleton, where I got clean, and let's move on to another subject.
Well, no, because we still want to talk about it.
Dana wanted, I thought, Dana, you didn't want it.
One of the rules we used to have in political communications was Hitler's off limits to everybody. So stop it on the left and the right comparing to Hitler. But why were they asking, why did he bring up politics anyway? Like, why did Hank Williams Jr. bring up politics?
I don't know.
He's a known.
I think they asked him. No, they actually asked him.
I mean, that's I sit in Fox and Friends a lot, and you see an entertainer who have political views, and he's had them in the past.
He could have taken a pass.
Okay, so he said it. He probably shouldn't have said it, but he could have apologized. But if ESPN really wanted to keep that song as their opening for Monday Night Football, they would have. They would have sat down with Hank and said, "Hey, Hank, you shouldn't have said it." He would have said, "Well, I was drinking," or whatever.
On a serious note, do you think Monday Night Football? We know that he's been on Hannity a lot, and we know that his politics are very far right. Why do you put a political guy on at the head of a Monday Night Football game? I don't get it.
No.
I didn't get it from the beginning.
I don't think anybody makes the connection, Bob.
He just sings the opening song to Monday Night Football. That's all. He's not on. He's not commenting.
Do they own that song?
Hey, I want to get to. Speaking of sports, I want to talk about what happened at the Yankee games, the doubleheader. This beer vendor was caught making a joke with a Boston Red Sox player, basically checking him for his ID as a joke. And the Red Sox player said to Steve Lazarus, who's the beerman, "I have your ID," and then made what would you say, a vulgar reference. The beer man was suspended for, I guess, the next couple of games, and they were first two games, which were sellouts for the American League Division Series. Should he have been
You
suspended?
referenced the comment as
I'm not
vulgar.
making the- yes.
Let's put it in perspective here.
You
So
can
the
do it,
two of
not
them
me.
meet in an elevator, and the beer vendor, who wears a big sign that says, "Where's your ID?" says to the ball player, "Where's your ID?" And he goes, grabs his crotch and says, "Here's your ID right here." You know, so
What I was
vulgar,
trying to
maybe,
avoid.
maybe not. The point is,
I thought I made it
what-
kind of
in
clear.
what
Look at
spirit-
Bob. Bob's going to say, what's wrong with that?
We really didn't need that part of it. I kind of say so. I thought when George Steinbrenner died, the lousy management of the Yankees would have gone with him, but apparently not. The idea of letting this guy go for this is ridiculous. It's thuggery, and I'll tell you, the Yankees deserve what they're getting. I know we're going to get a lot of mail on this. You big Yankee fans, you're going to lose.
I kind of like it that there are consequences for bad behavior in the private sector, because I have a feeling like if that had been somebody in a government employee, I don't think there would have been any consequences.
No. What did he do? He
No,
said,
I
"Where's
think
your ID?"
if you are two examples, Hank Williams Jr. and the beer man, they both did something inappropriate, and the private sector.
Say, "Where's your ID?" That's all he said.
Well,
he got suspended. For saying,
That was a little
"Where's your
different.
ID?"
Andrea, last word. Should he have been
It's not
suspended?
fair.
Which one?
The beer man.
She's got to check her email on that.
I hate getting into this. Should they be suspended? Should they not? I don't think the beer man really did anything wrong. I do think Hank Williams Jr. I think it was a tasteless comparison. It was bad judgment. He should.
Who owns the Yankees?
I don't know.
Steinbrenner Jr.?
Yes.
Yeah, probably.
He ought to be fired.
On that note,
consequences.
coming up, we'll reveal the results of my bet. Just kidding, there are no bets today. But we will talk about why New York City bus drivers are suing over the Wall Street protests. The 5 continues next.
I could be wrong, but I have seen your face before. You were the man that I saw running from the store. You owed him money, but you gave him something